Hey everybody, it's your girl Hita back for another episode of HitaTalk. I don't know why I brought so much mystery to the table, but guess who I have today? Ruth Maramis, amazing film blogger and an award-winning female filmmaker. So stay tuned, you're gonna wanna hear about all the amazing things this lady has up her sleeves. How you doing, lady?
Good, how are you?
I'm so good. It's so good to chat because we have really good conversations and we only actually really get the chance to chat like during the festival, the Film Fest.
I know, that's true.
So for those of you that are watching, we met during the Twin Cities Film Fest a few years ago. You have an integral role with them, but you already know this, but your resume is impressive. You're a blogger for films and you are officially now an award-winning filmmaker, correcto?
So far, yeah, I guess.
But my gosh, you've done a lot of amazing things. I want to get to know more about the background and how you became to do all the things Ruth is doing. So how did you even get your start into this whole adventure known as film? Were you born like producing films?
Oh no, definitely not. It's funny because my dad was a screenwriter before I was born. This was in the 60s. And, but then my parents split up, so I never really got into, anything that he was doing. But, hear stories about him.
Yeah.
But I never thought that I would, want to do film for a living one day. But, it just, I guess you have it in you,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And it's funny because I kept talking about films all the time with my colleague. This was maybe a decade ago. And then he's like, you should just write a blog about it and, do your film critique, commentary, reviews. And so that's what I did. And then I ended up meeting Jaden when he started his festival, and I started blogging for him.
You have been with the Twin Cities Film Fest since the inception of it.
Yeah,
right?
8 years ago.
The conception of it.
Yeah.
Inception, conception. But yeah, 8 years running, you have a blog called Flix Chatter.
Correct.
And as if you didn't know that. But you have an awesome team. You have people that contribute to it. So what is the basis of the blog? Like, what do you talk about? Like, how do you the commentators
well, it's
do it?
mainly film criticism. So the people who contribute to my blog, they just do reviews of the films that they want to watch. But films, they're so broad, so many genres, so you can't watch them all. I have a girl who is like, she wanted to come and blog about horror films, which I don't watch.
Yeah.
But but sometimes you comment about award shows and stuff. But I don't really talk about the fashion, for example.
Sure.
It's mostly more about films and the business of it. So I just love talking about films and like the making of it. I love like behind the scenes stuff, and so in a way after a while you get the bug of making your own.
You're so good at it. So the conversations I've obviously heard you talk about, you interview the filmmakers when they're in town, and then you post it. It's a very busy 10, 11 days. I mean, well, and much more to it beforehand.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite genre of film?
Yeah, I think the only thing I don't like is horror and slasher genre, but other than that, I pretty much like everything. I like sci-fi, dramas, and but I have a special love for period dramas, like Jane Austen type. Those are, I feel like, timeless, and whenever I'm feeling down, I can just fire up, Sense and Sensibility or Persuasion.
Ask what movies?
Yeah, and Persuasion has a tie to the film that I did. It was kind of inspired by that partly.
Oh, I love it.
So
you've written a film of your own, Hearts Want.
Yeah.
You've made a film. You wrote a film. You did it in 2 days.
We shot it in 2 days, but it took much longer.
There's so much more to it. So it's a short film. So what goes into the making of a film?
Well, where do I start?
Right. Well,
it's funny. I wrote it. I finished it about a year and a half, I think, before we shot it. And
you
then,
brought your journal. You take notes.
Yes, and this is actually, I started writing a journal when we decided we wanted to make the film.
Wow.
But the journey began actually actually the date here says 1/21, and we had a reading of the feature script on Martin Luther King Day 2017. So that was, I think, January 16th. So this was a week after that I started this journal. And so somebody by the name is Joanne Liebler, and she's used to be the president of Minnesota Women in Film and TV.
Yes.
So there's a lot of girl power involved
Heck
in
to
this.
the yes.
Yes. And so she said, why don't you do a reading of your script and see how, sometimes you'll know whether it's come alive or whether you need a lot of work and, completely rewrite it or whatever.
Yeah.
And it happened that we put together I think 7 actors and 1 narrator, and it went spectacularly well. I think, but I guess it was my first, so.
But you won an award for it, so
that was for the short, yes, for the short film.
Okay, for the short film, but
so it grew out of that reading.
Your work is amazing.
And I found a girl, Sam Simmons, who at the time worked at Evine, and she looked like she just jumped out of my script.
Wow.
She looked exactly who I picture my character Lily would look like.
Did you know her, or did you come across her?
No, but I remember when I met her, I called my husband Ivan. I said, I just met Lily. Like I met, I didn't even know I was going to make a film at the time.
But you met the Lily.
But and then she was volunteering at the film festival. I felt like it was just sort of everything. Like God somehow allowed everything to happen. It just so that I was able to do it.
That is so. It's kind
crazy.
of some magic to it a little bit.
And because she's like very specific. Like she's. I wanted a biracial woman. I don't know why, but she's like, I imagine somebody with a fro and the kind of a big personality, but also a strong woman.
Yeah.
But she looked like her with, so she looked like she just jumped out of, and then she also had the personality that was, amazing. So.
Way to go, way to go,
So timing
Lily.
sometimes is everything.
It worked out so well and came together super quickly.
Yes.
And then, of course, all the post-production and then the release of it. So what is Hearts Want about? It's a pretty sweet title.
Yeah, so again, I want to jump back to that Persuasion story. It is my favorite Jane Austen because everybody's all about Pride and Prejudice, which I love. Yeah. But Persuasion has a tale about lost love, people who lost somebody they love and they made a mistake or whatever, and then I think the story of them coming back together and then whether they can make it the second time around. Yeah. That really resonated with me for some reason. Okay. I don't know why, even though it never happened to me, but you just you don't know what you're inspired by.
Yeah.
So it's about 2 people who are reunited in a play. But they were lovers 7 years prior in drama school.
Wow.
So, but then she had left him that 7 years ago abruptly and not telling him why.
Okay.
And so when they were reunited, she sort of had to face, do I tell the truth and what does that mean? And, she, still loves him. They still love each other.
There was unfinished business.
Right, but whether he could actually take that revelation or not. So we kind of kept it at that because like a short film, you sort of have to have an arc. Like you have to have a beginning, middle, and end. Yep. So that was the challenge, was how do I turn a 90-minute, script? Yeah. What angle do you choose? So we just chose it to be just kind of ambiguous way. Kind of, you don't know what's going to happen to them, but hopefully people care enough about the characters and then wanted to know why, and hopefully we get to make the full feature and tell that whole story. But so that's the dream anyway.
What makes, the
good. Feature.
I was gonna ask, what makes a short a short? How long does it have to be?
I don't know. I think a short could be up to like 45 minutes, which I think is really too long.
Short. How long is yours?
Mine is under 15 minutes.
Okay, easy. Anyone can watch it.
Yes, exactly. And that was, I remember telling my director that I collaborated with, so, I really wanted this as short as possible. I wanted it like around 11 minutes or so, but, end up being a little longer, but that's...
Because there was so much amazing content to it.
Well, yeah, he said you can't really rush a romance.
So obviously the character Lily and Sam, just they paired so well.
Yes.
But the fact that your leading lady in this film had such an amazing diverse background and it fits so well with the script. Let's talk about women in film and diversity. So I want to hear from you and your thoughts. What do you think needs to happen for us to see more women in film that are diverse, especially directors? It's a whole different show, but what does this culture and this society need to do to see more women in leading roles that are diverse?
Yeah, you know, I feel like it should start from just the industry being more open, but also for a lot of diverse women to tell their story too.
Yeah.
You know, and not be afraid of rejection or, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to say because if there are people who have been doing it for a long time and then they just, it's like, well, the producer doesn't want to tell their stories. So that's why I feel like in the indie world, there's more opportunity for people of all backgrounds. And, you know, like for me, like I had never made a film before. And I'm not from the US, you know, I'm originally from Indonesia. So, you know, but I never saw that as a hurdle. I just like, well, okay, what do I have to do to get it done? You know, like I mean, I didn't know how to direct, so I had to find a director who has done stuff, you know, to collaborate with, and then, you know, help him find the team. But I feel like it's I don't know if it's one thing like, oh, so and so has to do something, but I think it's kind of well, you know, a lot of factors.
Yeah.
But I think just the industry in general just needs to be more open. But I feel like, especially last year, I felt like there's suddenly a surge or something, I don't know, like,
oh my goodness,
finally Hollywood is recognizing people who are not
headway.
A typical, you know, cookie cutter. Like we now have a female director after I don't know how long ago it was, since the Hurt Locker director, Catherine Bigelow. It's been so long, I feel like. I'm sure it's been a decade. And finally we have a female director and now a black director.
Absolutely.
For Get Out. And so I'm like, wow, you know, and that's encouraging, I think, for people of, you know, of all backgrounds.
We're moving in the right direction. And I mean, I wasn't going to make a mention of this, but I think it's an appropriate time to do so. There are some talent agencies that actually vet out the process of who they represent. And then from that scope of talent, that's where producers and directors and other projects have the assortment of people to select from. And one of my frustrations was an agency that is here in the Twin Cities that just doesn't have a very diverse selection. They're a little more conservative, and then my frustration lied in that. And I was on a phone call with them, and I had said, listen, which I appreciated the call. I said, you need to offer more diversity so that there's an option for others to choose from.
Yes.
That's a whole different spin-off. Right? Where we can have all these diverse ladies come in and talk about that. But it does. It needs. I think you made a really good point of having just more option and just opening that up from the industry as a whole. But shifting gears here, so not everything comes easily. Diversity and scouting and working with people obviously is just one thing. But what is one of probably the big challenges that felt deflating, maybe have derailed you on your path, or it was like a crappy moment?
You're specifically talking about the bringing this
professionally, just in the line of work that you do, and what kind of stumbles have you come across? I think there's a lot of us that can relate, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I really want to go into it, because I mean, I work in a corporate, and sometimes, you know, I even talk about it with my former boss, who's a woman, and she's just kind of my mentor, and there's sometimes a boys' club mentality in certain you know, workplace. And sometimes I feel that that's the case. But you know, I mean,
you're not alone.
Exactly.
A lot of people feel
but
that.
as far as specifically about making the film, I feel like Minnesota, you know, was open. Like I never felt like, oh, because of my background that I was facing a hurdle that nobody else would face. I don't feel that way. I think it was just, well, obviously I'm new.
Yeah.
So as a newcomer, you obviously ask dumb questions. And I wasn't afraid to ask dumb questions. I kept, you know, I grilled almost everybody, like, you know, and it's like, well, you just have to be patient with me because I'm new to this. So I don't, I mean, my film was a SAG film, so I had to do a SAG contract for one of the lead actor. So I didn't know how to do that, but I had to find out, Google everything. Oh, thank goodness for Google.
Yeah.
You know, there's that term, let me Google that for you. You know, that's pretty much what the motto I live by, because, you know, and I didn't know even just the script, like how do you condense a 90-minute story into how do you make a short film? Like there is no course. So you really, it's like a CrossFit, you know, like a what do you call that? A
exercise?
No. Boot camp.
Oh.
In filmmaking, because I never took film school. I never took a script writing class, anything. It was just, everything was just on the go.
Oh, I can't even imagine condensing 90 minutes into 15 when you don't really know how to direct, but you felt confident asking for help.
Yes,
and I think that's important.
And I think that's part of it too. Like, don't pretend like you're gonna know it all.
Sure.
You know, it's okay to collaborate with somebody, because I think if I had directed myself, it would have been.
You'll figure it out. One day you will.
One day, yes. But for my first one, I felt like I owe it to my actors to actually have somebody who knows what they're doing. But you know, I was there all the time, and I was always available to collaborate. So.
What do you think on the flip side of that is one of your most proud moments and accomplishments that you were like, heck yeah, Ruth, you rocked that out? Personally,
I think it's just being crazy enough to like do this.
Yes.
I mean, it's I mean, for someone who I never even shot a commercial, to just suddenly just, okay, you know what, let's just make a movie.
Crazy ideas make for crazy dreams, and
I think
vice versa.
The last lady said, you know, she has a very supportive husband, and I was blessed with a supportive husband too, who, when I said, well, I'm gonna make a short film of this, everything just sort of aligned. The timing is now, we're gonna shoot it in spring, and hopefully we'll be done by early fall and get it to Twin Cities Film Festival. And he's like, okay.
Well, he had a role
yes.
in creating the content.
Well, he has plenty of roles.
With you, but he made the graphics for the movie poster.
And luckily, when you have we met in school, and our minors were graphic design. Wow. So it came in handy because we don't have enough funds to hire anybody else. So he had to make the poster, he had to make all the props for the film.
Oh my gosh.
Because there's a play within the film, so he had to make all the fake playbills.
Just for
and
the script.
In a single week, it's like, we need 4 of them so every night he
put the hubby to the task.
Yes, and he also was the behind-the-scenes photographer.
Oh my gosh, you do a lot. You have a day job, you're doing this on the side, you're blogging. The festival is a whole different time zone throughout the year. What do you do to unwind? How do you take Ruth time?
I watch Jane Austen films.
There you go.
I know. I drink my chai. That's sort of my alcohol, is chai.
Good.
So I drink so much chai and tea in general. But I know. Well, my husband and I, we don't have kids, so we go out, you know, on weekends and eat out, and you know, we just enjoy each other's company. We like to travel. So I did go to San Francisco like a month after filming, because we just needed
to
just not like think about anything, like not have any deadlines. We're still twitching.
That's okay. You're just, the whole whirlwind of what just happened hit you, and you're like, I need to check out.
Yes.
Okay, good stuff. You're on the go. You're doing amazing things. How can people learn about what you're doing and follow your work?
Oh, well, good question. Hearts One is on Facebook.
Okay.
So it's Hearts One Film. So you can just, and if you're friends with me, I'm sure I've already asked you to like the page.
You have to self-promote.
I know, and that's another thing you have to learn on the go, is self-promotion, which I don't know how to do.
Gotcha.
I like promoting other people's work. That's what you do as a blogger. Yeah. And we're also on Instagram, so also Hearts One film on Instagram. So.
And then what about your blog?
Oh yes, flixchatter.net.
Flixchatter.net. We're not done. I have an activity lined up for you. We're going to do some trivia. So grab your popcorn and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
All right.
So music, film, they go hand in hand. You're going to kill me, but I have to do this because this is the only chance I will ever do HitaTalk karaoke. Okay, we're going to do a little music. So we're going to roll with the theme of hearts. So this is a song that many of you know, The Shape of My Heart. Are you ready for this, girl?
No.
Starting out at back on the things I've done. I was trying to be someone, played my part, kept you in the dark. Now let me show you the shape of my heart.
Oh my gosh.
Good sport, good sport.
Oh,
you got
boy.
an audience approval there. There you go. Okay, so don't kill me. Please hang out with me after this is over.
Okay.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. That's the only time I've ever done karaoke, except for that one time in Mexico. But that's a whole different story.
Okay, let's.
Back to Ruth. Are you ready for HitaTalk trivia?
As long as it's film trivia and not, then.
You already got the answers to this.
Oh, really?
There's no way
Okay.
I can stop you. Okay, so a numero uno.
All right.
Founded in 1946, the invitation-only festival held annually in France is,
Okay.
of course, the Cannes Festival. Obviously, we're not going to be invited anytime soon. But how cool would that be? If Hearts want
don't
and-
sell yourself short. Why
Well,
not?
hey.
Hita and Can.
He and can. And this lady over here. All right, this woman became the first woman to win the Academy Award for Best Director.
Catherine Bigelow.
For Hurt Locker.
Hurt Locker.
You said that earlier. I was like, wait, you read the trivia.
Nope.
I know. You know your ladies.
I have intuition.
You are amazing. And this is the final question. What is the name of this local 501c3 nonprofit organization comprised of members who are in film, TV, and new media in Minnesota, with a goal to educate, empower, engage, and support women in this industry?
Is it Minnesota Women Film and TV?
It
Am
sure
I whiffed?
Absolutely.
All right,
is.
which I'm a member of.
Whiffed. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ruth Maramis. Follow her on social media, Hearts Want, and flixchatter.com.
Yes, I hope you don't mind me rambling about film, but
That's what
there
we
you go.
do best. Thank you so
Exactly.
much for
Well,
chatting
thank
with me.
you.
See you next time, Twin Cities.